Greetings from New Delhi, India.
Thank you, Sohan.
I am honored to have you today with us, and it's an honor and privilege to host you, sir. Dear friends, I'm honored to introduce Professor Pritam Singh, who is our today's special guest for this podcast. Professor Pritam Singh, who was till recently a visiting scholar at Wolfson College, Oxford, took his DPhil from Oriel College, University of Oxford, where he was awarded the Edward Boyle Charles Wallace Scholarship. He is now Professor Emeritus at Oxford Brookes Business School, United Kingdom. Professor Singh was a visiting professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi in 2009, at Lomonosov Moscow State University, Moscow in 2013, and at the University of Uberlandia, Brazil in 2018. He has published four single authored and four co edited books. The late Professor Ajit Singh of Cambridge University, reviewing his book Federalism, Nationalism and Development, India and the Punjab Economy, had remarked the book is one of those rare academic publications which has the potential to make history. Professor Pritam Singh has published numerous refereed journal articles, including in the World Development, one of the most reputable international journal in development studies. He is on the editorial board of several journals, including Capitalism, Nature, Socialism, and makes regular contribution to print, TV, radio, and online media. On an invitation from EPW, he edited as a guest editor of its special Punjab issue in January 2017. His latest publication, 2026, is the Routledge Handbook of Punjab Studies, co edited with Professor Meena Dhanda. His papers have been translated in French, Spanish, Russian, Polish, Korean, and many Indian languages, including Punjabi. Some of his papers translated in Tamil are coming out as a book later this year. In June 2015, he was awarded the Distinguished Achievement Award in Political Economy for the 21st century by the World Association of Political Economy in Johannesburg. And in May 2021, the University of California, Riverside, honored with him a Lifetime Achievement Award for his distinguished contribution to the Punjab Research Group in the UK to promote Sikh and Punjab studies. Sir, it's an honor and a treat to have a scholar like you with us this evening. Sir, I would like to ask you questions regarding the issues and challenges that the youths of today are facing in India and the worldwide. And I'm sure a professor like you and your the long experience as a professor and an academician, I'm sure will share a light on it. So my first question is, sir, Professor Singh, from an academic and societal perspective, what underlying social, economic, and psychological forces do you believe are contributing to the rise of fanaticism, substance abuse, and self destructive behavior among today's youth? Sir, please highlight these issues and please share your words, sir.
Thank you, Sohan. It's a pleasure to speak on your platform. So, on this question about fanaticism, the attraction towards fanaticism among the youth, and substance abuse and other things. I mean, it's difficult to club them all together.
Yes, sir.
But very briefly, I would say that this is only one tendency. That if youth are some section of the youth, I would say some section of the youth are getting attracted towards fanaticism or also indulging in substance use and destructive behavior, there's also another section of the youth which is very committed, which is very hopeful, which are doing wonderful things, They are in progressive political parties like the Green Party in the UK and similar parties in the other countries. They are in trade unions, they are in student unions, they are in community groups, they are in NGOs. So there is no one kind of tendency among the youth. There is both. But since you are interested in knowing about the negative aspects of attractions among the youth, I will try to hit at those. One that I would say that both the positive and the negative has a commonality.
Yes, sir.
The commonality is the crisis of capitalism and the crisis of the environmental crisis. That we are facing a crisis in capitalism of a different kind.
Yes, sir.
Capitalism has faced crisis at different periods. Great Depression in 1929-33, major recession in 2008, 2009. And what we are facing now is the unprecedented level of inequalities.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that we always had inequalities in all social formations, in pre-capitalist formations also, since the dissolution of what one can say primitive communist societies, which were all equal and so on and so forth. Since the formation of class societies, these inequalities have been there. During feudal era, there were massive inequalities, kings becoming so, powerful, and, masses didn't have anything. But the level of inequalities which we find now is just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Humanity has not experienced this kind of inequalities. Now, those sections of the youth who see these inequalities being displayed on their TV screens and through other medias, they obviously see that on one hand people have houses which have more than 300 rooms, and we are living in a one room apartment, or even worse, some people are living in shanties in Mumbai, in Karachi, in Rio de Janeiro, and many parts of Africa, and that does bring to them a kind of discontentment. Now, this discontentment manifests in two ways. One is that, in a positive way, that we need to change the system. That's what leads to people joining political parties which are progressive, which are socialist, egalitarian, federalist, democratic. But there is also another section of the youth which gets attracted to people who give populist opinions. And populism is a very contested term, but who's kind of give very easy solutions. Or migrants are the cause of our problem. Okay, and it is democracy which is the cause of problems. And some people get attracted to this because this is very easy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it gets very. So part of the fanaticism comes from that, and part of the fanaticism and linked with that comes from trying to dominate other minorities,
Yes.
trying to kind of majoritarian tendencies which we see in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, and in Sri Lanka. I mean, I'm just mentioning South Asian countries, but similar phenomena operate in many other parts of the world, though not in the same way, in different ways. So that's one kind of possible route to understanding fanaticism, that being attracted to easy solutions. Okay, and these populist leaders who suggest quick solutions, and they become popular. They seize political power, but obviously they are also facing challenge. But recently in Hungary, an authoritarian leader has been replaced by a democratic leader who's not that great, but at least he's democratic. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's one, and so some who do not get attracted to politics, they take to being depressed, and that they take to drugs and other self-destructive measures. But it's important to mention that there is no one tendency among the youth. There is a pessimistic and there's optimistic. There's a progressive and there is a reactionary tendency, and they are competing with each other. Which will win? No one can say that, but the indications are that the dogmatic, fascistic, fanaticist had a quite a long time of rule. Now they are being challenged everywhere. They are being challenged, and Hungary might be one example. My view is that at this moment we are moving towards a more kind of progressive phase in a society. Coupled with that, I would very briefly say the environmental crisis. That in the previous periods of crisis in capitalism, there was no environmental crisis. There wasn't global warming. There wasn't a biodiversity loss. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
that is absolutely massive, which is taking place. The scale of global warming, I would say global heating rather than global warming. The
Yes.
scale of global heating is so high that sometimes one fears that there is a danger to our planet itself. Leave aside different political countries and different political system, there is a threat to our planet itself. So
Yes.
that also sometimes fills the people with what is the point if everything is going to be destroyed. But again, there are people who are fighting against this, who are trying to propose new solutions on housing, on transportation, on living styles, living simply, and organic agriculture, and public transport, support to renewable energy, community solidarity, and so on and so forth. So both the things are coexisting.
Sir, thank you so much for highlighting the positive side of the issues of the youth, and also talking about the various parts from the ancient to the modern and the present days political journey of the various countries, and especially in South Asia. Sir, my next question to you is drawing on your lifelong experience as an educator and a global thinker, what heartfelt message would you like to share with young people to inspire them to choose constructive paths in life and become caring, responsible citizen of the world?
Yes. Yeah, that's obviously very important,
Yes.
because the positive and the progressive kind of tendency among the youth I was talking about, that one has to seek a meaning in life.
Yes.
Every person is looking for a meaning in life. What do I want to do? How do I make my life worth living? And
Yes.
especially when you are young, this question really, what kind of study should you do? What kind of career you should choose? What
Yes.
kind of person you should marry? Whether you should have children or not children? And what are your responsibility to your parents? And it can go beyond that. What is your responsibility to the world? And one of them could be that I want to make a lot of money, I want to become famous, and I would study subjects which will lend to a good job, and I can buy more goods and commodities, and marry someone who I like, and have children, have a big house, and that'll be good life. And that's
Yes.
some people can get attracted to that. Okay. Another people can say that no, there is a deeper meaning to life. Okay,
Yes.
life is not only goods and commodities. Okay,
Yes.
because even animals also eat and reproduce. And if we are human beings and we claim to be superior animals,
Yes. Yes.
they are our ancestors. We are not totally different from them. We share a lot of things with them, but we are human beings and we have a human consciousness. We have imagination,
Yes.
and we can think differently from what exists now. Then if you think about those things, you want to think about, you know I need to do something which will make my life worthwhile. Okay,
Yes.
I
Yes.
want to be Bhagat Singh, I
Mm.
want to be Che Guevara,
Yeah.
I want to be a Lenin, and maybe I want to be Mahatma Gandhi, and I want to be a follower of Guru Nanak, I want to be a follower of Guru Gobind Singh, and whose names will always remain in history. Okay, why do we remember them? Because these people went beyond. When Guru Nanak started the Sikh faith, he was alone. He was alone. There
Yeah.
was no one who was following him except his sister. Sister knew, elder sister knew that her brother is not an ordinary child. He is spiritually gifted. But he stood against two big powers of the time. He
Yes.
stood against the Mughal Empire, very powerful empire. He
Yes.
stood against the Varnashram of the Hindu system, a very powerful religion, ancient religion, so powerful. He challenged them both. He
Yes.
challenged them both.
Yeah.
Because if he thought that I want to create a world which is peaceful, which is a coexistence, there is respect for others, and there is solidarity with each other, and he gave those teachings, and now you see his followers, 30 million followers spread all over the world, occupy important places. But there are similar others, Gautam Buddha, Karl Marx. Karl Marx came from a very rich family,
Yeah.
but he lived in poverty, because for him knowledge was more important. Similarly,
Yeah.
Buddha says, the enlightenment, knowledge is more important.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have to choose a path, and sometimes you have to choose a path which may not bring immediate fame. If you do scientific research, sometimes you work in a laboratory or in a library for years, and you might eventually write a big book, or you might produce a new invention, and you are motivated by that. You are motivated by truth.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
you want to live a truthful living, and that inspires you. So I think it is to kind of explore your inner self, and to relate to your inner self in a calm manner. And I mean, life is very turbulent. There are so many pressures in young life. Whether you have a job or don't have a job, what kind of salary you get, you have to build a house. All those practical problems are there. One is not kind of saying that you have to run away from them. One has to deal with them. But among them, you're also searching for a meaning in life. You're searching for truth, and you don't. I mean, I'm not saying that we should also become Guru Nanak and Bhagat Singh and Gandhi or Lenin or Karl Marx. And but we can in our daily lives do things. Okay. And 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 never underestimate the importance of doing small things,
Very
which
good.
is very
Yes, sir.
important.
Yes.
That you do recycling. Okay.
Yeah.
You use more public transport. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And you help a, if you're a teacher, you help a student. If you're a student, you help a weak student. You are helpful to an older person crossing the road.
Yes.
All those things, you will experience that something in you makes you feel good. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And so think about those things as well in your life. Of course, all young people are faced with this idea: what career should I choose? Okay. Which,
Yeah.
and what kind of education should I have? And I think the Karl Marx wrote a very interesting essay when he was about 16, 17. Similarly, it's available on the internet. You can search what
Yes.
career should I choose. He wrote a
Yeah.
brilliant essay. And the important thing, which he emphasizes, which is true, is that you should think about, I want to do something which I want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not because my parents are telling me, not because my neighbors are telling me, that you should have that. When I was young, I was just, I mean, luckily I was very bright in my studies,
Yeah.
and I won scholarships and all those things. And I went with a friend who wanted to join the army, and to help him, an academy. And this guy who talked to him, then he said, "Forget about him. I want to talk to you." I said, "Why?" He said,
Yeah.
"You join the army." I said,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not interested in joining the army." He
Yeah.
says, "You will at least retire as a lieutenant general, but you might be the army chief." I said, "I'm not interested in the army." He said,
Yeah.
"Then become an IAS officer." I said, "I'm not interested in becoming an IAS." He
Yeah.
said, "You are a strange kid. You're not interested in the." I said, "No, I want to be something,
Yeah.
something to do with thinking.
Yeah.
My that's what my passion is." And I eventually chose that. They were precious. My parents wanted me to be a big army officer or police officer, and marry a daughter of a landlord family. you know and I registered those pressures with respect. I did not hurt them. I told them that, so I'm not saying that I'm the ideal example. There are obviously great people, but I think that you should think about this, that you want to do something which you want to do. I started engineering because of parents' pressure, but I understood very easily that, engineering is not my cup of tea. And
Yeah.
I eventually moved to economics, for my undergraduate study. And I have been very happy. I mean, there is no better subject, I would think. Even if I have a second life, I would still choose economics, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so there are various. You want to be a journalist, you want to be a scholar, you want to be an NGO worker, and the thing is to make your life enjoyable and meaningful, and that you're creating a world which is beautiful. World is very beautiful, life is
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
and we want to celebrate this life and want to make it more beautiful for
Yeah.
the coming generation. That's what I think would inspire you to do something good.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for your wise words of wisdom, and I'm sure your knowledge, your guidance, and your wisdom will help the youth across the world to become a better citizen, a good and responsible citizen of the world, and they may get learn a lot from you and your wise suggestions. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk
Yes, sir.
about these things which I haven't talked about. People ask me about different things, about economic issues, and but this is very interesting chat we had. Thank you. All the best.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to have you with us tonight. Thank you so much, sir.